Fight! Round 2. Fight! Round 3. Fight! Round 4. Fight!今度こ貴様Fight! Round 2. Fight! Round 3. Fight! You lose.
最後に立っているのはこのわしじゃ。あの程度。
Fight. Fight!
What, dude? Now you don't need fucking spectrum,
Round 3. Fight! Round 4. Fight!
Why does it live? I'm flipping on the ground.
Oh. You lose.
最後に立っているのはこのわしじゃ。
Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle.
Kisama, 一体何者だ。
One. Fight.
end of the combo.
Round 2. Fight.
年
Round 3. Fight.
年 貴様
1. Fight.
年
Round 2. Fight.
Fucking annoying.
Round 3. Fight. 4. Fight!
Of course it's not. Of course, that's Yeah.
手頃な崖がなかったのでな、この場でとどめを刺してやろう。
Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle. Fight.
I'm lying on the floor and you're
Round
doing
two.
a sweep and you can lift me.
Fight.
Bullshit.
Round three. Fight.
On the floor and you can...
Round four. Fight.
It's such a bullshit. Such a bullshit.
Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle. One. Fight. two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round four. Fight. Final round. Fight.
今度こそあの程度でわしが死ぬとでも思ったか。
Fight. Round two. Fight.
Good job.
Round three. Fight.
Electric uppercut out of the block.
今度こそ完全な死をくれ。Get ready for the next battle.
I do, man. Nah, not really. But they work, right? 1 plus 2 is the escape. Ah. Yeah, well played. I saw you have Kazuya as your banner, man. But I
Get ready for the
but I
next
probably
battle.
play different than you. But I'm not so good with Hayashi with the Kazuya.
あの程度でわしが死ぬとでも思ったか。
One. Fight.
I love this guy. Oh yeah. We play the hardest character. Everything is different. Execution, combination.
Round 2. Fight.
Hey, what's doing?
KO. 貴様は俺を超えられん。Round 3. Fight.
No.
Get ready for the next battle.
You defeated me before. Crawling back to you.
Get ready for the next battle.
Jessic, have I played before? I'm not sure.
La mezcla de sus cena es que...
Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight. Round 3. Fight. Round 4. Fight.
Man, Fauci, they overplayed their hand with that one. They were trying to claim he was like sexy and stuff, had t-shirts,
Round 1.
badges, pins and banners.
Fight.
Talk show hosts danced in extraordinary choreographed musical numbers, I seem to recall, celebrating the great Andy Fauci.
Dr. Fauci, give us vaccine.
Well, it seems like they should have, done their research, or at least read the research done by Bobby Kennedy in his book with Anthony Fauci. But you see, if you were to choose, let me know in the comments and chat what you think, which version of Anthony Fauci is leading, in the words of Too Shady, will please stand up? Is it the one in Bobby Kennedy's book, or is it the one that was across legacy media night after night, telling you to wear a mask, but for no real reason? The one that appears to have tried to suppress the lab leak theory in favour of a natural origin theory when it came to the advent of the Wuhan virus, China virus, COVID virus, call it what you want, who appears to have extraordinary ties to various deep, big pharma organisations, and who's been employed by the government in a variety of roles for a long, long time. Isn't he the longest serving public official? Let's have a look at Fauci, another person who seems to be being rendered in a very different light. Should he be pardoned or should he be pardoned? Let me know in the comments in the chat.
CBS News has learned that President Biden is considering issuing preemptive pardons to some of President-elect Donald Trump's biggest critics. Among some of the names being floated, Dr. Anthony Fauci, who served as top science advisor during the height of COVID-19, you'll remember. You're seeing California Democratic Senator-elect Adam Schiff in the middle of your screen, who led the first impeachment trial against Trump, and overseeing Liz Cheney, who was part of the House committee and investigated the January 6th attacks on the Capitol.
Preemptive pardons. That's like when you get into an elevator and you say, "Excuse me," before you fart. What
Nada
kind
supera la
of
mezcla de
criminality
Azucena.
are they trying to conceal
¿No
by
cree?
offering preemptive pardons? Of course, it will be presented as a prophylactic against Trump's presumed malfeasance
ready
once
for
in
the
office.
next
Didn't they
battle.
tell us day after day that he was going to govern not more or less how he governed in 2016 to 2020, but like some sort of new rebooted retro Hitler with an unusual or at least different haircut? Doesn't seem to make sense, and the reason you know that it doesn't make sense and the reason you can see that they're trying to deceive us is because you can look at things like when they said he said there's going to be a bloodbath, and it's clear that he's talking about tariffs or drill or I'll be a dictator on day one. You can go and look at those things in context and you can see, oh no, this is what they're doing, this is how this works. Now, many people, whether it's John Fetterman or Bernie Sanders or Cenk or that other lady, was it Anna Kasparain, are
Get ready
now
for the
deserting
next
the
battle.
Democratic Party. Let me know in the comments and chat if you think that's for expedience or if you think that's because of an epiphany and an awakening.
Grand Canyon University is an unusual
Round
place
one.
to get educated, a place
Fight.
that adheres to the values of Scripture rather than the crazy values of our time. I'm bringing you an invitation to get educated at Grand Canyon University, as well as lovingly and incredibly a message of peace and goodwill from Grand Canyon University this season. They remind us that the angel said in 2:10, fear not, for the whole that brings good news of great joy that will be for all the people. Came to earth to save humanity forever. Christmas is about serving others, giving of others, and loving as Christ loved us. Those values seem abstract and alien today. If you're
Fight.
considering higher education, consider Grand Canyon University. In Christ. Go beyond Christ. Actually. Merry Christmas, Grand Canyon University.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.
Why is it so fucking laggy?
Round 3. Fight. Round 4. Fight. You lose. Samo. Round 1. Fight. Round 2. Fight. Round 3. Fight.
Oh, my fucking so laggy, man.
Round 4. Fight. Final round. Fight. Get ready for the next battle.
Get ready for the next battle.
How do you find right now the axis of resistance? Are they gonna be defeated as Bashar al-Assad was defeated in Syria?
I think they've taken a blow, but I don't think it's a serious blow that some are saying. And I think Iran is probably dealing with it in a very level-headed, circumspect way. They had already opened, I'm told, and pretty good sources, they had already
Get
opened
ready
some
for the next
preliminary
battle.
talks with, probably through Oman, but could have been through Qatar, could have been through Egypt, I don't know. I can't pin that down, but they'd already opened some talks with what you might call a forward team for Donald Trump about negotiations on a new agreement. I think the impetus for this was the new president. And maybe Zarif probably too. So what they've got now is a situation
Round
where
one.
that is the strategic
Fight.
alternative remaining to them to make some sense, especially if this works out the way some are saying it's going to play out. Now, I know for a moment you know that it's going to play out. But this is anybody's guess. I mean, let's just face what he's been leading and apparently, since Erdogan decided to violate the agreement he made with Putin, we paid him. We offered
Round
him
two.
billions of dollars
Fight.
to help his economy back. And I want to say to him, you know what we did in 1991, right after the Gulf War? Congress would approve the billions we promised you. Stand by for the same thing. Yeah, that's a great answer. I think that's Sham, big question. I don't think anyone knows. Listen to Lavrov. And Lavrov was pretty
Round
clear
three.
about who he thought was behind
Fight.
it. Israel's United States government was absolutely right. We didn't think that it happened fast. And in this piece of history, fashion. But what we've been doing in the United States Bush first after we couldn't go on to Iraq and take Assad down. He turned into a citizen. He didn't need presidential. He didn't want to archive it. He told Dennis to give him a job. And we've been trying to do it ever since. Obama made it official for the president in 2015. We've been trying to get this
Round four.
since then. And we will
Fight.
ally with anybody, even the people who brought down the towers and killed people on video. That's what we've done. And look at what we're doing with the Kurds again. Oh my God. We made a deal with Turkey to eliminate the Kurds as much as possible. They see the PYD as the same way they see the PKK. And they also get the which I understand today they were already
For Gaza and for the people in the West.
Final
Because
round.
We know all of these.
Fight.
What would happen
Netanyahu's got his whip in the immediate time frame. He's got the focus on Gaza. He doesn't want people watching him brutally slaughter children. I read a piece this morning. My daughter sent it to me. I had not seen it. It's out this group this morning, 465,000 or so reservists in Israel. It's small right now, but it's growing every day, and they're fed up. They're fed up with the war. They're fed up with the methodologies of the war, particularly in Gaza. And so you've got 600 or 700 of them now, and it's growing every day. And they're fed up also with the fact that they feeding that to
Round
who doesn't
one.
give a tinker's damn about
Fight.
That's really good. They're not showing up for duty. They're not answering the call. They're not going back for a second tour or third. So he's got the focus on it. He's not going any further than right. Ben Gavir and Smoker are back there planning on settlements. I know that. So it takes the focus off Gaza. Hammer that focus.
How the fall of government in Syria. The Iranians are talking about that Turkey has betrayed them. Washington is talking the same thing. And what was really taken what Turkey has been doing in Syria?
Round three.
I'm told it was $4 or $5 million first installment. And you know, inflation's terrible. They go I don't think Turkey has a choice to make. Again, you know, which way do I go? Do I go to Moscow? They didn't do what I really want to do is get these Syrians out of the country, and I want to take care of the Kurds once for all, and maybe get myself a little buffer space in Syria, like Netanyahu says he's getting. He means that. Buffer space in London. I don't think he uses it in Syria.
Ich mach dich fertig!
So with the U.S., Britain, Israel. I've always heard the Israelis harvesting money, and I wonder, you know, where are the Israelis going to get? Oh, they're going to get it from sugar daddy. So we'll be giving money, if we give any,
Round
to
four.
Erdogan, and we'll be giving Israel maybe something else other than money. I understand the deal is quite so we bought it. I'm sure he wouldn't like that epithet, but I think we bought it like a whole. I think he might have said something like that in Doha. Really good press. When he's in England, he speaks English very well, but he has to serve it like I do. You will for words sometimes, and it's not quite as fluid as it is in Russian, I suspect. But he summed it up, I think, pretty much. And he also summed up the other situation when he was asked about
Ich werde meine Mutter rächen.
Ukraine.
Ich werde meine Mutter
rächen. Remember Admiral Buchanan?
Round one.
Rear Admiral
Fight.
Buchanan, speaking for the U.S. Strategic Command, he said, very serious. Then he speak about limited disaster. We're looking at this chain of war.
Round two.
For the most part.
Fight.
Running all the way actually all the way down to and down into the Levant and down into the Levant. That's where the conflict is all along. For different reasons, but the empire is central. The empire is central. And it's clean race strategy is central. Because the clean race strategy is chaos. Let's foment chaos. All lines. That's what mainstream thinking is. Let's have chaos. Because in the chaos, only the empire can come and fix things. If you like Libya,
round three.
Look at Syria.
Fight.
Over the next airbase, but to show you the Russians concern, they sortie. What's going to happen to it? I mean, Israel was just as apt to go over there. Israel was bombing everything. Still, bombing everything. Anything that might look like it could be used as a weapon, they're bombing. And it's not just because they want to make sure Hezbollah can't pick up any pieces. That's because I think they have other aspirations for Syria. I've always thought that. Always thought. I've always looked at that highway to Damascus.
Get ready for the
and
next
looked at
battle.
how fast an Israeli armored division could be there. And if it were a clean slate and they weren't embroiled in Lebanon and in Gaza, they'd go right away. They'd take the whole damn region. That's what they want to do ultimately anyway. If I were the king in Amman, I'd be really counting.
Get ready for the next battle.
Because they want that too. And they want the water and the resources associated with it. It is not
Round one.
Fight. If you think Libya is a mess right now, and it surely is, Syria's going to be
Was Turkey cooperating with the United States and Israel behind it before this happening? Because right after this is so important. What was right after this Israel? This attack that happened.
Yep.
Who's behind that? Who's the master?
Round two.
Is Netanyahu?
Fight.
No, I think the mastermind is Washington. I don't use mastermind loosely. I think the mastermind is more the intelligence community, the MI6, CIA, Mossad, than it is Biden or Lincoln or Sullivan. Although I see Sullivan and Jake's intelligence. But I think it's probably the intelligence agencies who've been running this all along anyway. They're the ones who are shooting at American soldiers in Syria. The American soldiers thought they were supposed to be shooting at ISIS.
Round three.
And then,
fight.
What they were shooting at was CIA agents running this is great. And still got those over there in that sector.
Sorry.
It's just so confused. I don't think, unless Bill Burr is personally briefing the president, I don't think probably national commanders used to call as the president and secretary of state. I don't think they probably have a clear picture on it either. I think the thinks that they do. And if Bill's doing anything at all, he's probably telling Biden that ATS and AMJ call it have to do something that's in our history tomorrow morning. I don't know how they deal with it other than day by day, hour by hour. And I told you this before, Bashar al-Assad was one in his
Final
people,
round.
one of the most
Fight.
helpful after 9/11 in terms of identifying Al-Qaeda, where they weren't. He was certified with divine good graces of the but we quickly turned, just like we turned on one of the copies having lunch from America secretly the next day. He came, or we came, we saw, we died. That's pretty important. Putin said it clearly. Don't anybody trust the United States of America? They listen, they lie, they cheat, they steal, sneak up on your back because you're through. That's the way Putin looks at us. That's the way Lavrov looks at us. And I don't blame him one bit.
Ah, you fuck homo! Godverdomme, you lucky son of a
He has
bitch.
got some people in Israel who are as bloodthirsty as he, really angry at me. It's going to be. I was watching his body
Round one.
yesterday.
Fight.
Just a few minutes of video. He just one walking pissing guy, and he's got so many people who are after him. just the attorney general. I mean, now he's got a lot now legal things about him and about their relationship and stuff. And I think they kill him. No, the big thing behind that movement I was talking about was
Round 2.
no one thinks he's
Fight.
Get a deal. What was it I saw this morning? 225 were taken hostage. 97 of them are still in the allegedly held hostage. Half estimated still be alive. So that's not a lot. Certainly not the 225 who went through. But if he could get some of that, the euphoria associated with that might continue to these problems. But he's got to do that. He's got to do it fairly swiftly.
Round 3.
Well, I've heard a number of different stories and explanations. I think what is emerging is that Assad, for whatever reason, kept rejecting outside thoughts, both from Russia and even from Turkey. He would decline to meet the and I don't know what he thought his goal was, but some of this goes back into years where he rejected Russian army to train up and specialize in certain military. There were a lot of underlying problems. Turkey took advantage of this situation to seize Aleppo and to get into bed with Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS. The HTS has been backed as well by, in my view, by the United States and the United Kingdom. Turkey has been always used in the past cutout to formulate weapons about their training through the radical Islamists. And, so there's something in this that Turkey. This contact for both the U.S. and the U.K. was through the British intelligence service, MIT. And, I don't think though anyone anticipated of the Syrian enemy. Clearly, people are calling it wrong. So, with the Russians, the Iranians, do they know that it's going to collapse? I don't know. About Assad's imminent collapse. Ultimately, this is on Assad because he didn't do a good job for his country.
Round 1.
Jump back.
Fight.
Corruption is allowed to be shot. He was sort of little now got this case. That's where people really focus. Folks said, oh, this is a big black eye for Russia and for Iran. Yeah, but you know what? Syria is not on the border of Iran and Russia. Turkey is, Iraq is, Israel. They've got the thing number one, the ideological deeply with this
round 3.
This
fight
Salafist view of Islam. So the vision of global politics. Jelani reported tone down that way. Oh no, we just want to get this country. Okay. going to be ruled by Islam more extreme than anything we've seen in Saudi Arabia. And with that, there comes a tolerance of other Muslims, Shia Muslims in particular. I can show you writings. One of the presidents was Zarqawi, who created and formed ISIS, or Daesh. So Jelani was part of that. And in the writings of Zarqawi, there was no mercy, no tolerance of the Shia. Now, to the average Christian, the average Jew, looking outside in at the Muslims and go, man, what's the difference? Shia, Sunni, all Muslim. You know, they all follow the basic tenets of Islam of, you know, doing the Hajj and
Get ready for the
praying
next
a
battle.
certain number of times a day and reading the Quran. You know, the duties that tend to become what being a Muslim. Shia, Sunni, you know, it's like vanilla ice cream, vanilla ice cream with vanilla beans in it. Vanilla. Well, that's not how people within the Islamic communities necessarily view themselves. There are some
Get
Muslims
ready
that,
for the
you know,
next
they don't
battle.
make a big deal about the distinction between Sunni and Shia. But there are others that matters a whole hell of a lot. And to people like Jelani, means the world. So they're not about to set up and like, oh yeah, we're going to be tolerant and embrace our Shia brothers.
Fight.
You can notice that even within the ISIS itself, they've been fighting amongst each other over who's really got the true side doing God's spokesman. The spokesman of Allah. So it is, what this means is that the likelihood of chaos going forward is increased, guerrilla activities. And that means countries whether we're talking Turkey, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, or Israel to control those events very limited. And a lot of times it's just put one against the other. So this really is a recipe for disaster for at least the next 2-3 years. There's no underlying commitment that, hey, we're all Americans, we're in this together, we're all Syrians, we're in this together. No, it's not that. You've got Christian communities, you've got Alawite communities, you've got Jewish communities, you've got Kurdish communities, and you've got the Sunni Muslims. And you've got the communities of loyalty to the Turks. Loyalty to family relationships with Iraq and with Jordan. So I think the technical term is big fucking mess. HTS, the first appearance it makes is in the country reports on terrorism issued by the Department of State in 2018, which covers the events in 2017, and they noted, hey, HTS was formed in January of 2017, coming out of Fuck Together, Al-Nusra, 2 or 3 others. Al-Nusra was involved with the false flag chemical weapon attack that the White Helmets proclaimed back in 2013 was carried out by the Syrian government, which was a lie. It was Al-Nusra. An element's connected to it. And so here comes Jelani. Jelani is now, since 2017, and, you know, the State Department is supposed to issue that report every year. So like this year, in 2024, they should have issued a report for 2023 in April, but they didn't do it. So the last report is down in 2022. So in that 5-year period, 2022, and what appearing in the top 10 of terrorist groups right now. Okay, they're in the top. So it reminds me of that. There was this guy on the radio in the car who used to do the top 100 countdown of popular music. Same thing to the top 10 popular terrorist groups. I'm going to go to that list. Yeah. That's like 10 of them. This ISIS, that ISIS, and then Baluchi, something or other. And then the Philippine New Army. Like, you know what's not on that list? That's what's not on that list, it's the wrong. What's not on that list? What's not on that list? Come on. So it just exposes the lie of those terrorist actors in the Middle East.
Round 4.
Nonsense.
Fight.
So, you know, the United States, and not just the United States, Russia, and the United States. Anything? Russia, the United States, the United Nations, we all agree. HTS is a terrorist, international terrorist. The U.S. has got a $10 million value. Just like, see the reward posters over my shoulders? I was involved in I helped create the terrorist program. I got because they ignored my recommendations. But you know, they got this stupid poster out now, like, give us this terrorist for $10 million. But is the United States going to shutter its embassy? Write off all diplomatic relations? Or just only allow the CIA to continue to talk to the guy? I mean, he's got literally blood on his hands. He's beheaded. So, this is a mess. The United States has painted itself as this territory. We've now backed this territory. You think he's going to work and play well with the Jews? Or with the I'm surprised the guy didn't come out and go, hey, yeah, my pronouns are they, them, and I'm transgender. You know, if he would have done that, it would have been, complete
Round 2.
World turned upside down.
Fight.
I don't see him having this dramatic divisions where all of a sudden he's joining We Are the World.
Too obvious, my friend.
Round 3. Fight.
Shit.
Round 4. Fight. You win.
話にならんな。
Get ready for the next battle.
What occurs to me
more and more at the moment is I woke up, I freely admit, I woke up in 2020 on account of the pandemic, which after a few weeks made no sense to me, and I started asking questions. And then by the time the Ukraine war began to unfold, it took about 5 minutes of digging around online to realise that what we were doing was incomplete at best and lies at worst. And then, fast forward to this week where events unfolded in Syria. I was able to predict, even as they were happening, that we just weren't going to be told the full story, that we were going to be given something spun. Now, I know where I fit in the food chain, and I'm a regular person coming to perceive a different reality. And now I've also internalised the understanding that, since the 90s, US foreign policy has been to subvert 7 regimes, 7 countries around the world, with a further, not US foreign policy really, but the desires and wants of Netanyahu's Zionist Israel. That someone like me knows about this, and that someone like me also talks openly now and hears about the Nakba in 1948 and the Dervish massacre and the assassination of Count Erdogan. If I am talking about these things, it seems to me that so much has unravelled so quickly. I've never known a time when US has perceived less as the good guy, the good guy of the left and the West Wing, and the movies that I grew up watching. And also, I grew up believing that Israel was the good guy in the Middle East. I just vaguely accepted that as the truth. And that if someone like me, where I sit in the food chain, has realised all of this, so much has unravelled so quickly that if we've all been pawns in a big game, they're going to have to find a new game to play, or to play the old game by different rules. If I can see it, everyone can see it.
Yeah, those are really... First of all, it is interesting when articulating some of the key events as to why people lost faith and trust in the media. There are so many of them that I omitted. Two vital ones reference, namely the COVID narrative that fell apart in so many different ways, as well as the story about Russia and Ukraine. And it's really interesting because
come back, Ninja.
The way in which the COVID narrative was shielded from challenge was pure censorship. One of the most systemic, brute acts of censorship imaginable. You had these group of scientists in the Lancet before they had any idea of what was going on, but were petrified that they would get blamed for the release of this virus, and announced that they knew for certain that the origin of the virus was not a lab leak, that it was discrimination, that was racism against their Chinese colleagues. Instead, that it was this zoonotic leak naturally occurring from non-species and animals, and that anyone saying otherwise was engaged in destructive harmful disinformation. That led to full years of banning any dissent on Facebook and other major social media outlets about any discussion of whether the original story was true, and now we know most people recognize that it was relatable and probably almost entirely untrue. Same thing with all the other parts about masks and school lockdowns and what vaccines could actually accomplish. And then, in the same way that you saw censorship as the main tactic used there, the same was true with the war in Ukraine. You know, it is not more discussed. That one of the very first things that the EU did after the revolution in February 2022 was in March of 2022, they made it illegal for a platform to allow adults in the EU to hear Russian state media. So if you want to hear Farsi or Sputnik, not because you're a Russian sympathizer, because you don't want to lead your government, you'd like to get the perspective of the other side of the world that generally good thing to do. They made it illegal to do that. For example, the platform where my show is on Rumble, to this day is unavailable in France because France wrote them a letter saying our law requires you to remove RT and Sputnik from your platform. And they said, no, we're going to cut you off at the IP level. And Rumble said, we're not going to take foreign governments about who we can, what content we can make available to our adult users and not. So you see this extreme reliance on censorship because they understand that that is the only way to shield it, and it's increasingly becoming I think, more and more difficult to maintain. And then what that leads to is that when something like what happened in Syria happens, and we're fed this narrative, that is a very effective narrative. Just like the narrative of COVID in Ukraine, where I mean, the reason so many people were going to, get on board with the COVID narrative is because fear is a very powerful motivating factor. It's part of our instinct. It's part of how we can survive. So if we're hearing from government officials and scientific experts and epidemiologists that you can't go out of your house, that if you leave your house without a mask, if you don't socially distance, you're going to die, that is a very strong emotion that they have purposely triggered. When told that the Ukraine-Russia conflict, they were bad guys, Hitler-like figures, Nazis reconquer all of Eastern Europe and Western Europe on the one hand, and innocent poor Ukrainians on the other, who, if you show them pictures of Ukrainian grandmothers crying, these are very effective. They good people trigger real emotions. And the same with Syria now, where we're told, oh look, it's like a dictator, which he was, so Syrians who are happy, which they are, and that's all designed to prevent us from asking the geopolitical questions of why our government happened, who really is now in power, what the effects are going to be. But I think the more they overplay their narrative, the more they destruct the state, that is a powerful result. If I could just give you one story that I thought was so said too, and for me this is so hilarious. In 2023, I would say, after the wake of the October 7th attack, there were a bunch of young people who either weren't born during 9/11 or were way too young to remember it, who discovered a letter that Osama bin Laden wrote to the government, American people rather, in 2002, in which he was trying to explain to the American people why there was so much anti-American sentiment in the region. Because at the time when 9/11 happened, Americans rightly wanted to know, and I don't blame them, why do they hate us? Why would people hate us so much that they would come and want to kill as many of us as possible away? And the government had to provide an answer, and the answer the government provided was, oh, they hate us for our freedom. They're religious fanatics and extremists. They hate that we have a Congress that votes, that women are allowed to wear bikinis on the beach, and that's why they attack us for our freedom, and that's why we have to go kill them because our freedom is extreme. Now, there were so many reasons why it's possible to ban them. Thousands of countries around the world with Al-Qaeda have no interest in attacking. But when that bin Laden letter was written and detailed all the various involvements, destruction that the United States and the UK and NATO has had in that region, with dictatorships on them, sanctions regimes, bombings, support for the Israelis, as a reason why there's anti-American sentiment in that region, it was kind of ignored. That letter didn't get much attention, and then suddenly a bunch of people discovered it on TikTok as they were focused on the Israel report from the war in Gaza. Like, wait a minute, I never knew any of this. I never knew that our support for Israel was supported by people in the Middle East. I never knew that we did a sanctions regime that killed 500,000 Iraqi children, or that we were occupying Saudi Arabia, or that we were bombing their civilian leaders and opposing dictators. And when that started to happen, young people in the United States started to talk about that bin Laden letter, there was immediate pressure on first TikTok and then only place where that letter had really existed in a free way, to remove the letter. The Guardian removed the letter because we were talking about it. Yeah, and then TikTok got pressure elsewhere to ban any discussion of it. It's such an amazing, extraordinary event where you think you live in a country of free speech, and yet when young people start to research for themselves, start to read important historical documents, and it makes them think a little bit too critically, there's an attempt to crush it and smash it within 48 hours. It's very successful to the point where the Guardian, the newspaper, removes the letter from the website, so those links no longer work and no longer can anyone read it. I think that is the sort of thing that we see more and more. They're really kind of showing their struggle.
Goodbye, my
When we know now that the intention to remove Saddam Hussein predates 9/11, that it was a policy that was set down in the late 1990s, and that regardless of whether it's been a Democrat or a Republican administration in the White House, the deep state, or whatever you want to call it, has been prosecuting that agenda all of that time, since the last millennium. you know, and the 7 countries, you know, Iraq, Afghanistan,
for the next
Syria,
battle.
Somalia, Sudan, and so on, have been knocked over one by one. Libya, chaos, and so that only Iran now remains of the 7. What chance, given that seemingly unstoppable force of regime change and determined regime change, chance does Donald Trump have coming in January, even if he wanted to, of changing the direction of the great ship of speed?
Yeah, you know, it's a great question. I remember probably the first presidential campaign.
Get ready for the next
that
battle.
I really had any kind of emotional investment in. I had just started writing about politics in 2004, primarily as in opposition to the war on terror and the civil liberties destruction. And Obama came along, unlike Hillary, and said, I'm a constitutional lawyer. I believe in the basic foundational freedoms that can't be sacrificed even in the war on terror. And I guess I kind of believed him. But I look at that. He was a young, idealistic constitutional lawyer. And then he wins, and he gets to Washington. He has this huge popular army behind him. I mean, he brought in massive amounts of young voters, new voters, people who didn't believe in the political system before. He really wanted to fulfill the promise of how Washington works for the interest of other people. The same motives, by the way, that drove a lot of people to Trump. And Obama gets into office. He starts to get these things. The guys punch the medals on their chest. He's shown the most sensitive secret documents. And is convinced that all of these programs that he vowed to overturn suddenly are in fact extremely important. That if he tried to eliminate any of them, he would have blood on their hands, and within about 3 months, he sent his lawyers into court to defend the constitutionality and legality of the very programs he spent the last few years campaigning to uproot, and ended up even expanding them further than what George Bush and Dick Cheney were able to do. And I think the lesson for that, for me, was, and this is something Dwight Eisenhower warned about, you know, 5-star general, the hero of World War II, spent 8 years as president in the 1950s in the Cold War, and when he left office in 1961, he had about 8 minutes or 12 minutes to give his farewell speech on network television, and the thing that he chose to warn Americans about was the growing power of what he called the military-industrial complex, this powerful, permanent faction in Washington that he said was operating outside of democratic accountability and becoming more powerful than the president. That was before Vietnam, before 9/11, before it was a tiny fraction then of what it is actually now. So I do think the first term of the Trump presidency, the biggest failure by far, was that he allowed all these people to vet in his administration who weren't there despite the personal flattery of him to advance his agenda, but to undermine it. He had just gotten to Washington, didn't have the discipline to figure it out, didn't have the know-how. People close to Trump swear, and they've told me this on the show, but elsewhere, that he's aware of that he's determined to make sure that doesn't happen, that's the main priority. But I'm not convinced at all, frankly, that other than a symbolic victory against Trump, no matter how committed he is to this, and that remains to be seen as well, let's assume the best of him. He's really energized at the age of 17 to go and radically change Washington's prevailing dogma. I'm not convinced at all that he has anywhere near the power and the organizational competence, strategy, strategic cunning necessary to be close to
I mean, I think the best, I feel in my opinion, for cynicism, that the best you can say is that if people like Obama, partially or completely, by 2011, you know, he was prosecuting the desire to topple Assad regime in Syria, and that has ruined President Trump, but that has been prosecuted regardless of the flavour of the administration. So I'm certain about the potential of any president. But I wonder though as well, do you have, given what happened there with Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, which is de facto pardoning himself, given that it was backdated to 2014 and involvement in Ukraine and Burisma and the coup and all of the rest of it.
Round 1.
How much faith do you have in the very idea that he lives under the rule of law? when it was so blatantly demonstrated there that there was one law for sit-down and one law for everyone else.
In 2011, I wrote a book entitled "Was Justice for Some?" Part of the Pledge of Allegiance ends with the phrase "with liberty and justice for all," based on the idea that there is justice in the United States. It's not just that all people are lawyers and therefore their outcome, of course, is true. It really was more focused on this idea, was prompted by what happened when Obama was running in 2016. One of the big questions was, you argue, and I certainly agree, that the Bush and Cheney administration committed a lot of serious crimes in the prosecution of the war on terror, things like torture, illegal warrantless spying on Americans, rendition sites and CIA black sites where people were taken beyond the reach of human rights organizations, kidnapping off the streets, rendering off the streets of Europe, and sending people to Libya and to Egypt and Syria, or just like Bashar al-Assad, interrogated and tortured. That these are all crimes, clear crimes, not just under domestic interaction. Shouldn't they be held like anybody else? I wrote a book before that about why they should be. And Obama during the campaign said, we're very open to that. We're law, and that's my Attorney General. I'll see if there are crimes committed, and if there are, we're going to prosecute them like we would anybody else. And then about a month after Obama was elected, he announced a full-scale amnesty for everyone in the CIA, for everyone involved in the prior administration when it came to torture, based on the ground that we have too many problems with the country, we have to look forward and not backwards, which never made any sense. Obviously, every prosecution of every crime necessarily involves looking backwards. Crimes can only, by definition, happen in the past. Nobody else gets the benefit of that ideal. You know, violent criminals, poor people, powerless people. We look back all the time to the past. It's kind of a special carve-out for people who are powerful. And you can actually trace this back to the crimes of Nixon when the country decided, for whatever reason, and no one else underlings and went to jail, that it was better for the country if he didn't. He made the same judgment when the 2008 financial crisis happened. All these people on Wall Street got so rich through all sorts of reckless, outright illegal speculation and financial fraud, ended up being the one most protected while everybody else was left to suffer and homes foreclosed. Generational wealth lost to working people that affects everyone throughout the world today. So I don't think anyone takes seriously the idea of the rule of law. It's one of the reasons why I've been so jaded about the democratic narrative, the liberal narrative of the United States, that Trump presents some sort of unique threat to our way of life, that he is somebody who doesn't believe in the rule of law, but he's going to prosecute his political opponents and immunize those closest to him because he just wants the Democrats to prosecute their political enemies. Joe Biden turned around and immunized, as you say, himself, not just his son, but also himself for any potential wrongdoing Joe Biden might have done to the old companies pursuing in 2014 and 2015. And that's another thing is I do think most people have come to understand that the law is for most people, but not for everybody. It's one of these institutions that is weakening all kinds of faith and trust and legitimacy, contributing to this broader view that society itself is unsustainable. It only exists to benefit the few and crush the rest. And that's a very dangerous thing to have a perception that widespread about institutional authority in general.
You know, which I think was back to some of what was revealed by the slipping of the mask in the aftermath of that assassination of the healthcare boss. You know, I think that was what we started to see all the way through to. You know, a glimpse of a potential disobedience future. I wonder to what extent you think that at the moment is it simply the case that in its dying hours, the Biden administration is determined to cause as much trouble and lay down as much ruination in advance for Donald Trump. You know, before the election in November, they might have been able to say that they were still continuing with the mandate of the election victory in 2020, whatever you make of that victory or not. But by now, the election having the will of the American people is Trump. And it's mendacious and egregious, or it seems to be, that the Biden administration picks now to do certain things. that just leave so much mess
Fight.
in front of the incoming administration. Have you ever seen anything like it? So much destruction deliberately created in advance.
Yeah, so as you probably know, the term that Americans use for this transition period where a party in power loses, we have this 3-month or so interval between the election and the inauguration of the new president. So you have this president who's on his way out on the walk, he's party off, and he's sort of there as a kind of character. And the term for it is lame duck, because generally it's as the phrase suggests, an animal who basically has broken legs, just kind of there to float around and to paddle just enough to keep himself afloat, but can't really do anything, can't really go anywhere. Obviously, if there's an emergency situation, the country is attacked. We only have one president at a time. Of course, he'd be expected. Yeah, but otherwise, it's really a kind of maintenance of the status quo, particularly so if the party in power just lost a resounding defeat or just rejected by the American people, as the case for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on the one hand versus Donald Trump on the other. I think the most egregious example is the war in Ukraine, where I don't think so much that the Biden administration is purposely trying to leave a mess for Donald Trump out of vengeance or a desire to see him fail. I think it's out of fanatical belief that, for whatever reasons, these kinds of Western elites believe above all else that the number one geostrategic goal is to weaken the Russians and to destroy the Russian ability to be an influential actor in the world. And Donald Trump has made clear for as long as he's been on the political scene, since 2015, that he doesn't see the Russians as this implacable enemy of the United States. It's an adversary. We have a lot of different interests, but we have a lot of common interests as well. That's why he got accused of being a Russian spy, because of his expressed desire to have good relations with the country that has the largest nuclear stockpile on the planet. And part of what he promised repeatedly during the campaign was to come in and end the war in Ukraine that is causing the United States not just hundreds of billions of dollars, but the real risk of escalation. And over what? Over the question of who rules various eastern provinces in eastern Ukraine, which has absolutely no effect on the lives of the American people. It's a very dangerous situation. Biden, or whoever is acting in his name,
back to you.
Get ready for the next battle.
Is engaged in a whole variety of acts that they have long refused to engage in precisely because they knew how escalatory they were, including using ATACMS missiles. That, as Putin has correctly observed, isn't just something you give to the Ukrainians and say good luck. It's something that only the United States, the British, or NATO can actually operate in terms of their guidance and precision. Capability, the Ukrainians don't have that ability to use on their own. So it's actual, active belligerence by the United States and by Russia and by the UK in bombing Russia. And to do that as a new policy after you lose an election, when a president's coming in who ran on a campaign promise, obviously ratified by the American people, to end that war, not keep it going, that is such a deliberate attempt for the will of the American people, for their interests, for what they believe, that it's almost hard to believe it's happening, especially given how dangerous this game is.
One last question, Glenn, before I let you go. 6 of the 7 aforementioned states have been regime changed or one way or another knocked out of the game. Only Iran remains 7. Are you fearful of an inevitability of some kind of head-on clash with Iran, with or without the intentions of Donald Trump coming in January?
For sure. And just to underscore your point about these 7 countries, this is not the 7 countries that people were whispering about. Netanyahu wrote a book in the 1990s saying that the way to transform the Middle East is to have the United States change the government of these 7 countries. It ended up in memos we had the Pentagon that after 9/11, General Wesley Clark had really shown, talked about these memos. And as you say, there's 7 countries that it'd be a really want the United States to overthrow the government of, and they do so in everyone's other than Iran. And of course, the number one aim of Netanyahu and the Israeli government and a lot of his most ardent loyalists inside the United States government, of which there are many, is to provoke the United States into a conflict with Russia, with Iran. You've heard so many times since October 7th, before that, people standing up and saying we need to go bomb Iran, we need to take Iran out, we need to change the government. That is the golden goose for people who believe in this world view of doing. And while I don't think Donald Trump is interested in a hot war with Iran, because I don't think he's interested in starting hot wars with anybody, and for 4 years, when he was president, he didn't have that, he didn't have the Iran deal. The reality is that this time he had a bigger vulnerability than when he was president. In 2016, he ran. I don't think he cared that much about winning. He wasn't really that dependent on big donors. In 2024, it was really about his life or death, and the choices were whether he was going to go to prison. And I think he became more desperate and more vulnerable. You had Gary Adelson and other hardcore pro-Israel, pro-Zionist interests seizing on that opportunity to say, we'll support you, but you have to surround yourself by and be completely loyal to the interest of fanatical pro-Israel element in this country. And that's exactly who ended up running his campaign, shaping and forming everything he did, filling his campaign coffers. And I do worry a lot that those people, and we've seen them be empowered one after the next, and two choices for these top cabinet positions, might be able to get their way despite what Donald Trump might do, which is unfortunately not that difficult to manipulate. And even the whole leaking during the campaign that after his two assassination attempts, which obviously affected him the way it anybody, trying to convince him that it was Iran that was trying to kill him, that the US was out behind the assassination attempt. Obviously, that was already a kind of preemptive attempt to start convincing him that destroying the Iranians in some way, severely destabilizing the government, is the thing that he ought to be devoted to most.
I said at the top of this conversation, Glenn, that things have changed so fast that I don't know which way to look when I get to bed in the morning. Having listened to you, I must say I still remain cautious about looking into the future, but as I expected and hoped, it's been so most excellent and insightful to listen to your worldview. So thank you, Glenn Greenwald, and I hope we can pick this conversation up again sometime in the future.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'll try and bring some more optimism and sunshine next time. I'll thank you as a grown.
Fantastic. Thank you, Glenn.
All right, have a good day.
Have a good day.
Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round four. Fight. Round one. Fight.
Godverdomme.
Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. You.
GG's.
Get ready for the next battle. Get ready for the next battle. Round one. Fight.
I almost thought you were Nina, man. Jesus.
Round two.
Over here.
Fight.
Over here.
Round three. Come on. Fight. You lose.
I'm up for a rematch anytime.
Okay, Nina. It's ma'am.
Round one. Fight.
Over here.
Yeah.
Round two. Fight.
Over here. It's over.
They made it too easy, man. The low pair.
Fight.
Over here.
A low variant.
Round four. Fight.
Over here. No.
Now this is what I call fun.
Final round. Fight.
That should be.
Now this is what I call fun. That's a knockout. Good night.
Jump in the play.
You win. 話にならんな。Round one. Fight.
Big punch, big punch, big punch, big punch.
Round two.
Over
Fight.
here. No?
Finish.
Fine.
Round three.
Over
Fight.
here. Low.
Now this is what I call fun.
Round four. Fight.
I was waiting for it.
Final round. Fight.
supreme. So.
Get ready for the next battle. 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 貴様をここで終わらせる。Round 1.
It's man.
Fight. Round 2. Fight. Round 3.
Over here.
Fight.
What a comeback! Oh my god!
1, 2.
Final round. Fight.
These are the fists of a champion.
These are the fists of a transgender.
Round 1. Fight. Round 3. Come on. Fight. Round 4. Fight.
Now this is what I call fun. That's a knockout. Good night.
Bang.
No more coming around. Finish.
Oh.
These are the fists of a champion.
Yeah, well played.
It's too boring.